It is Sunday evening in the quiet desert town of Arroyo Ridge, and the air feels heavier than usual. What began as mild concern 8 days ago has stretched into something far more agonizing. 78-year-old Eleanor Whitmore has been missing since the early hours of February 1st. There has been no verified contact, no confirmed sighting, and no proof that she is safe. The most troubling detail remains painfully simple. She vanished without the heart medication and insulin she depends on daily. Doctors have made it clear that without consistent treatment, her condition could deteriorate rapidly. Every hour now feels magnified. Time is no longer neutral. It has become the silent adversary in this unfolding crisis. For her family, sleep has become fragmented, meals forgotten, and hope something they must actively choose each morning. A woman more than a headline. Eleanor Whitmore was never meant to become a headline. She was the steady center of a tight-knit family, a grandmother who baked bread on Sundays and sent handwritten birthday cards without fail. Widowed in her early 50s, she raised 3 children with quiet determination and unshakable discipline. Friends describe her as warm but firm, deeply faithful, and surprisingly witty when you least expected it. Even as health challenges increased, she remained fiercely independent. She used a walker, moved carefully, and organized her medications with meticulous precision. Her modest ranch-style home sat on the edge of town, surrounded by desert brush and towering cacti. It was the kind of neighborhood where people waved from driveways and left porch lights on at night. That sense of comfort and familiarity makes her disappearance feel even more surreal. The night that changed everything, Saturday evening, January 31st, appeared entirely ordinary. Eleanor's children had dinner with her, laughing over stories and promising to visit again midweek. She returned home shortly before 10 o'clock. Neighbors later recalled seeing her garage light flick on and off. Nothing unusual. Phone records show no outgoing calls. Her medical monitoring app transmitted routine data for several hours. Then, sometime between 1:30 and 2:15 a.m., the signal stopped abruptly. It wasn't a gradual failure. It simply ended. That narrow window between late night and early morning quickly became the focus of investigators. By sunrise, nothing seemed visibly wrong from the street. Yet inside the home, subtle disturbances told a different story. Something had interrupted the rhythm of a carefully ordered life. The moment concern turned to fear. Alarm bells truly rang Sunday morning when Eleanor failed to attend church, something she had not missed in years. Calls went unanswered. By midday, family members entered her home and felt an immediate chill of unease. A chair was slightly overturned. A kitchen drawer stood open. Her walker was gone, but so were her medications. Authorities responding to the scene quickly determined this was not a routine welfare check. While officials have been careful not to release every detail, they confirmed evidence suggesting she did not leave voluntarily. Within hours, the residence was secured as an active investigation site. What had begun as confusion shifted into urgent fear. Time, once a passive observer, now felt like a ticking countdown tied directly to her fragile health. The search expands. By Monday morning, Arroyo Ridge transformed into a coordinated search operation. Ground teams combed desert trails, helicopters circled overhead, volunteers distributed flyers at grocery stores and gas stations. Law enforcement reviewed neighborhood security footage, traffic cameras, and digital data trails. Despite the scale of effort, no clear lead emerged. The terrain surrounding the town is rugged, with dry washes and rocky outcroppings that stretch for miles. Searchers moved methodically, aware that Eleanor's limited mobility made long-distance travel unlikely. Yet the absence of clues created its own anxiety. It is difficult to search for someone when you do not know in which direction to look. Each sunset without answers deepened the emotional strain on everyone involved. A disturbing communication. On the third day, investigators confirmed receiving an electronic message claiming responsibility for Eleanor's disappearance. The message demanded money and referenced personal details not previously made public. Authorities have not verified its authenticity, but they are treating it seriously. The family was advised to avoid independent contact and to allow trained professionals to manage all communication. The tone of the message was unsettling not because it was dramatic, but because it was measured. It suggested planning rather than chaos. For Eleanor's children, reading those words was devastating. It introduced a new possibility, one that transformed the situation from a desperate search into a potential negotiation. Yet, even amid fear, they focused on the same priority: proof she was alive. A family's public plea midweek, Eleanor's children appeared together in a brief public statement. Exhaustion was visible, but so was resolve. They thanked the community for support and addressed whoever might have information. Their message was simple: please let us know she is safe. There were no accusations, no anger, just urgency wrapped in dignity. Observers commented on their composure, but composure in such moments often masks deeper emotion. Speaking publicly was not about performance. It was about reaching someone who might be listening. The statement spread quickly across social media, prompting candlelight gatherings throughout town. In a place where everyone seemed connected by at least one mutual acquaintance, Eleanor's absence felt intensely personal. The weight of medical reality. As days passed, medical professionals reiterated the seriousness of Eleanor's condition. Without regular medication, complications could escalate rapidly. Weakness, confusion, and cardiac distress were real possibilities. These warnings were not meant to alarm the public unnecessarily, but to underscore urgency. For the family, each update from doctors felt like another reminder that time was unforgiving. Hope remained, but it existed alongside stark reality. Negotiation specialists, behavioral analysts, and digital forensic experts worked quietly behind the scenes. Every tip was logged, every possibility examined. Still, the central question persisted: where was she? Questions without answers. Uncertainty can be heavier than confirmed loss. It leaves space for endless scenarios, each more unsettling than the last. Was Eleanor still nearby, hidden within familiar terrain? Had she been transported far beyond town limits? Was the communication genuine, or the work of someone exploiting attention? Investigators have not speculated publicly, choosing caution over conjecture. Meanwhile, the community continues to hold on to small rituals: porch lights left on, ribbons tied to fence posts, prayers whispered at dusk. These gestures may not alter investigative timelines, but they provide emotional grounding. They remind the family they are not alone in their waiting, holding on to hope. As the eighth night settles over Arroyo Ridge, the search continues. Drones sweep across desert stretches. Officers review data late into the evening. Volunteers prepare for another day at dawn. Eleanor Whitmore remains missing, but she is not forgotten. Her story is not defined by headlines or speculation. It is defined by the love of her family and the collective determination of a community refusing to surrender hope. In crises like this, strength rarely looks dramatic. It looks like persistence. It looks like steady voices and steady hands. And until definitive answers arrive, hope, quiet, stubborn, and unwavering, remains the one thing no darkness has managed to take.